What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. About the touts, it feels like it's been a little while since we've been back. I think the last time we did an episode of this, it now feels fraudulent because I think our last exit interview has now since brought somebody back. They went full Undertaker style, and I hate it. I hate that. So I've got some notes. But we're here today with Nathaniel Wright here, fresh off an elimination. Man, how are we doing?
You've been better, but we're here.
Yeah.
We're ready to go. Have some, obviously have some thoughts. So time to
Yeah.
share 'em.
Well, excited to talk about it. I feel like your journey, actually, between you and Kamish, who we'll be talking to tomorrow, I feel like both of you guys have had pretty unique experiences compared to everybody else. And just based on how you've been perceived throughout the entire process, how you've kind of
Mhm.
moved on, I've just like, now that you've had a few days to kind of process it, because like, when did you find out you were eliminated from the contest?
I got notice like last Tuesday.
Okay,
Like
so you've been
it's
like
been
sitting
almost a
on this
week.
for a while.
hmm
Yeah, so
Yeah.
like how now that you've had some time to just kind of like take this in a little bit, how like what I don't know, take me through it. Take me through it.
I uh I mean it feels I've said multiple times that if I'm getting eliminated, I want it to be because I didn't do well enough.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, especially that interview with CrakRok, that was not good. That was the definition of not doing well enough. But I really thought my time on the Bash was really good. I stand by that 100%. I think that I deserve to be in the group with the other three there. I think I did a really good job, and I think my guest really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it. I think the chat really enjoyed it. Um, so that kind of stung. Uh,
Yeah. So
but
I was going to ask that because it does feel, I mean, it is so subjective at this point too, right? It's
mhm,
like how the guest perceives the experience, how the judges perceive the experience. Like, what as it was happening, were you like did you feel the vibes were good, the flow state was good? Like, did you
yeah,
as the bet yeah?
yeah. No, I felt in it. I was having a great time. I thought that I was giving my guest a lot of room to have the floor. That was my main
Yeah.
goal. There was just let whoever this guy is, let him shine, let him do what he needs to do, and just facilitate to unlock him as much as I can. Like I was trying to have zero ball takes, zero ball knowledge, zero ball anything. Just let make clicks in a draft and let the other guy shine and have a great time.
Yeah, it's he's saying zero ball takes. Just again, I'm like reminded of just the judges thinking, like talking through, like how they judge this experience. And you're right, it is so funny, like that. I feel like based on how you have been perceived in this show, leading up to that,
Mhm.
is almost how you are judged, right? Like we kept hearing about Tony's ball takes, and I think that only has been brought up because throughout every other challenge, you've been like, does this guy know ball? But that really had nothing to do with the challenge that was at hand, right? Did you
Yeah.
feel that at all too? Like, were you thinking, and I guess this could be from other challenges too, but were you thinking at all about how you've been perceived from like earlier challenges and like what you needed to like over or undercompensate for? Was that ever like in the back of the dome?
I mean, not really. I feel like I've been relatively like diverse in my skill
Mhm.
set. Like there wasn't anything that I think I really like popped on, like nothing really that like showed craziness from me, but there was nothing that I thought I did like poorly, like
Yeah.
super duper poorly at. So I was just like I'm going to go in and just try and knock this out of the park. I think with the Tony stuff though, like just an abject disaster of a stream from
Yeah.
him. Like, and I think everyone can agree with that, including Tony. Um, there is something to be said for trying to prove something in the wrong arena is just going to make a bad product. Like,
Yeah.
and I didn't think his backup interview with Rambus like was that great either. Frankly, I was a little bit surprised when I got the call because I knew the second that the second interviews happened that I wasn't moving on, but I was surprised that it was Tony that moved on and not Kamish.
Why do you say that? That like the second
I think
that
that Rambus is an easier guest than people are giving him credit for. I
I
think that
also agree.
like this wasn't shown during the episode, but when CrakRok was having some like technical difficulties,
Mhm.
me and Rambus were just like going back and forth with each other. And it was good content. It
Yeah.
was reasonable. It was like exactly what he was talking about with the Bowser Ramba stuff and just like having a good time. Like, I think that Tony got a little bit, extra juice for that, and then got extra juice for excelling in other challenges that I think he did, above average at. Like, I think if you're wanting to take some previous challenge acumen and run with it, great.
Yeah.
But I think it should be the challenges that are more geared towards what's actually going to happen, which in my mind was not the debate challenge. Like, he did well at the debate challenge, but I don't think that's really indicative of his standing as a tout or his standing in the contest. So I was just like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, I mean, I do think that it's so hard to get put in that final three, and we're like, hey, we're just gonna give you somebody, and like the whatever pasta you make from this, that is what you'll be judged upon. And there's part of it again, and I almost feel like this has turned into a drinking game, whether Overzet mentions it or I mention it, where it's like, did somebody say improv? Take a drink. But there is, I was thinking about it where it was like, yeah, man, when you like audition for stuff, you can't control who your scene partner is. And you just kind of have to like make the best of it. Right. But at the
Yeah.
same time, I agree with you. Like, I don't think Rambus is like, I know where Rambus to me is like a controlled wild card in the sense that he's fine, dude. He's not doing anything crazy. He's very funny. It's easy to set him up for softballs. There's nothing that says softballs about CrakRok.
No, I definitely, I think I got the short, tiny little straw for that, but I also didn't do well with it. So I don't want to like sit here and be like, I deserve better. I do think I was kind of annoyed because I feel like I've gotten unlucky for like 3 weeks in a row. Like being the person who had to do 0 RB in the video where everyone else like in the community doesn't believe in it as a strategy. That didn't feel great. Going into the debate tournament, having to argue 2 positions that I don't agree with as a person, that didn't feel great. And then this having to have no name guy. Like, I loved Tart. He was great to work with, but he wasn't like, he's not Tyler. He's not Max Adams. He's not BB Chosen, somewhere where people know them. And then, the kill shot of CrakRok just.
Yeah, I mean,
I thought it was funny the way Pete said it. The sounded like a uncle interviewing his niece's boyfriend. I'm like, yeah, that was.
Dude, I felt the same way where I was like, and I don't know him. I just know him from Pete's streams and from tweets and stuff. And like that feeling of you're just kind of let's just buckle up, man. Let's buckle up and hope we all get through this with no one feeling uncomfortable. That was kind of what I was rooting for, which you did do. But that's also a different like a grading system than what everybody else had. So that is tough. You mentioned like the last couple of weeks being challenging. Again, I'm excited to talk about Kamish about it too. I really do feel like you guys have had kind of some unique experiences where I wonder if other contestants don't necessarily understand what that's probably like for the way that you came in. And then I feel like you were constantly just trying to I don't think you were doing this actively, but you're just kind of constantly being like, dude, hey, I belong here, man. I know I was like labeled weird in my initial video, but like, come on, man. Like, I'm also doing fantasy football content. I don't think it's that crazy. Like, what was that entire experience like for you?
Yeah, I mean, this is definitely something that I thought about a bunch where it was like, I don't have the same skills that a lot of these people that have been doing this for a while have. I don't have the same, not that this is a skill, but I don't have the same equipment. I don't have the same like
that counts
presence for the camera. Like, and I was like, yeah, I need to be. There definitely was a bit of I need to be bringing something else so that I'm just not getting wiped off the floor because I'm at a sort of natural disadvantage here, just being so new to this style of thing.
Was that something you had thought of like from the very beginning of the submission? Were you like, because again, I know you're coming from like an acting background. Were you kind of just like, let's create the backstory here. Let's create an angle for me. And this is the direction I'm going to go. Or did that kind of morph as the contest went along?
It kind of morphed. I think like I didn't put a ton of effort into my submission video, at least in my mind. I was like, this is an odd, like I have a standard thing with like first round auditions for stuff.
Yeah.
It's like I give myself 3 takes and I pick the best one, I send it in, and then I forget about it. And I'm like, this is just
Beautiful.
another audition. And it
Beautiful.
just happened that there was this, I think, really funny take with the ambulance in the background coming in, and just sort of ran with it.
Yeah.
Like it was it was something that I had to sort of morph, really, like, in Duo week when I was working with Emo Cowboy. I was like,
Mhm.
"Oh, shit. I gotta
Yeah.
buckle up and do this," 'cause Emo is a like, behind the scenes, I don't know if he wants me to share this, but he is a consummate professional. Like,
Oh,
he gets things done, and he is, like, very efficient at it. He, like, is organized, he's good at brainstorming, he's good at, working, with other people. Like, he's a machine. So, like,
well,
just being dropped straight into that, I was like, "Whoa."
well, that is so funny you say that because that is something that I've like pointed out in other exit interviews, and just like talking about the show. And I've only met Emo, I think one time, maybe a second time, but I think just one time. And
Mhm.
he is just like the nicest guy. So it was so funny to see him just go off in some of these confessionals. I was like, oh, that's so I'm glad you pointed that out that he really is like, okay, I'm like locked and loaded and ready to go.
Mhm.
But yeah, so was there, I mean, I guess you kind of touched upon it, but like the seeing other people have some sort of experience, whether, having equipment or just talking on camera, like the for you to like carve out your own lane or do your own thing. Did you think like as the competition went on though that you felt like you found your groove a little bit with it? Like were you getting a little bit more comfortable the longer this went on?
Oh, yeah. I think people can see that I'm more comfortable on camera. Like, I sort of know where to look now, like, in terms of, like, speaking to the camera. I know, um, I've toned down the gesticulating just a little bit. Just like that sort of stuff. And I think I've settled into who I am as
Yeah.
a sports person instead of just who I am, and it just happens that I'm on camera, if that makes
Yeah.
sense. It's like
Yeah,
I
yeah.
feel like there's definitely a switch there where it's like, okay, this is me doing drafts or talking about sports or being on a show versus this is how I am and I'm just, lackadaisical, but the camera is on. Like I've
Right.
gotten pretty good at that, like,
Well,
at least for film acting for me, a lot of it is just being able to be yourself with a camera on instead
yeah.
of like tailoring yourself to the camera.
I mean, that's so for real. Like how, and again, Pete has mentioned this before, but it's just you have to be 100% yourself while also 100% performing for a camera. And it's like, how do you create it's like it's authentic, but it's also like this faux authenticity of like, I have to like turn a dial a little bit so that you want to stay and hang out, but not turn it too much that you're being like, dude, can you relax, man? Can you relax? We're just like doing a draft. That's like a hard
Yeah.
thing to nail, I think.
Hmm. Yeah, and I've definitely needed to tone it back a couple of
Well,
times.
do you think like was there anything from your like performing background that you feel like has like that helped elevate you throughout this? Was there any sort of aspect of that where you're like, "Oh, this is actually right in my wheelhouse?"
Oh, 100%. Like I think that people, especially people can be bad listeners in terms of like working
Yeah.
with someone else, and I think like having like active listening to a scene partner, like that
Mhm.
helped me a lot. Like in even the like bash episode, it helped a lot with the duo video, I think, and like with how we were interacting with each other in the survivor video. Like I just think that there's a lot of things in like learning to be a good actor that just also covers learning to be a good conversationalist.
Yeah. Absolutely. I mean, I think the active listening aspect of all of this, I really do think is like 90% of it. Like if you are doing a show or a stream or draft or whatever with somebody else, and you can just like lock in and actually respond earnestly and honestly to like what the other person is saying, you are going to be doing 95% better than like everybody else. Cause I know for me personally, whether it's a guest, whether I'm being a guest on a show or somebody is coming on as a guest, I 100% know when someone is just waiting to respond with what they are going to say versus like listening to what's happening and responding to me. And there's nothing both as like a consumer and a performer that pisses me off more than when I clock that. Because if I'm clocking that, I know everybody else is clocking that, right?
I mean, you would think, but with some of the ways I see things, I think that people that have a performance background are just a little bit better sometimes at clocking, like when people are just like, when they have that look in their eyes, when you're like,
Right.
ah, yes, yes, it's time
You've
for your next
loaded.
line.
Yeah, exactly. You're waiting for that one keyword so you know what to say. And that drives me nuts because I really just wanna like live in what we're doing right now and let's like bounce back and forth and build something together. And that even as like the viewer, that's what I'm interested in. I like feeling whether it's scripted or not, I feel like I like that feeling of being like, I don't know what's gonna happen here. Like let's build something, you know?
Yeah, no, it's definitely harder to do than you would think, especially on script. Like,
Yeah.
I think even the best actors in the world fall into that trap of just like glazing over.
Yeah.
Sometimes when you already know what you have to say,
Yeah.
but
And you're
it
just like so petrified of like not hitting the right spot. So you're like, oh, I just need to make sure that I when I hear the word, I say the thing.
yeah. So when it's your fourth take and your director's like, you've missed the mark 3 times. Like,
Yeah.
please, I'm begging you to hit your mark. It's like, okay,
Yeah.
I'm gonna hit the mark. I'm gonna hit the mark. It's gonna be great.
One of the other aspects of this show that I really enjoyed was I keep wanting to call it an after dark episode, but it wasn't really an after dark episode. The one after the second to last episode that we just saw with you and Goofy
Mhm.
in like with Pete afterwards. And I thought
Yeah.
that honestly, like, I mean, I thought you've done like a lot of really good work.
Mhm.
But that to me was some of the most enjoyable stuff. Like I really enjoyed both of you guys. I thought like did a really good job of showcasing why you'd be really good at this. And it has nothing to do with being like, this is the this is the play, this is the guy you need to draft. But I thought that was like a really fun conversation. But I'm really interested in what your experience was like during that because of how like I thought you did a really good job, but there was also like high stress, I think. And you're like, well,
Mhm.
only one of us is going to go through from this. What was that experience like?
Yeah, it was definitely stressful. I think I tried to let my mother do her thing and
Yeah.
just like especially at the beginning, I remember seeing stuff in the chat where like, Nathaniel, why are you fading into the background? I'm like, I'm letting my mother do the thing. And I Sentex needs his space to do whatever Sentex is doing. If you get into that twister, it's not gonna end up well for you.
Right.
So for me it was just going in there and allowing it to be what it was and just letting people have their opinions about it after it was done. Like I can't control who I am on camera. I can control who I am on camera. I can't control whether people like it or not. So
Absolutely.
I'm just going to be who I am and what I wanted to be there. And I was just trying to talk from the heart, you know.
Yeah, I thought that was good. I think that's like a really good point too of just I mean if it's too curated in who you're how you're trying to present yourself like again people I do believe people see through that and
Mhm.
eventually you're also just going to have a bad time. Like if that's how
Yeah.
you're going to create content that will suck by the end of it if that's what
Oh
you're
yeah.
doing. I also the way that you talked about your mom and Zentek, it really did feel like I don't know if you are a Key and Peele fan but
I've seen something.
yeah, that like when they had like Barack Obama's like anger interpreter or whatever.
Mhm.
I forget what the
Yeah.
official character name was. That is
Yeah.
kind of what it felt like, where you and Goofy were like, "Well, here is exactly how I felt during this experience," and then the other your other person spoke for you in a more animated way.
Oh yeah. No, I think my mother is continuing to do that with this elimination. She is she is hot. She is not happy.
How has that experience been for you? Like, with the dynamic of having your mom involved with that, and both like on camera and off camera. Like, what's that been like?
I mean, it's obviously it requires a lot of trust in her and just in
Hmm.
our relationship, uh, which I've known her my whole life, so
Yeah,
I have a lot of I have a lot of trust in that. Um, but I mean, it's also been it tough. I mean, she's been, like, good about, like, asking me what I feel comfortable with her doing and
yeah,
stuff like that, and I've been obviously, I don't wanna, like, tell her what she can and can't do. She's a member
sure.
of this community just the same as I am. Um, so it's a little bit weird, sometimes in that way, but at the end of the day, I'm glad that we have something that is common that we're interested in, that we can talk about when we wanna talk about it.
Yeah.
Because
Also, that's good weird. That's like a good
yeah,
weird, not a bad weird. Like I think
no,
it's
correct.
being able to have tough, not even tough conversations, but I just mean like that's like a good boundary setting thing, whether it is
Mm,
a mother-son relationship or whatever. Like just being able to be like, hey, appreciate you having my back here, but like here's the line. Here's the
yeah,
line that I feel comfortable with, or like, oh yeah, go for it, or sit this one out. Like I think I mean, everybody should be having those conversations. I think that's just like that's healthy. That is healthy.
yeah.
Yeah. What are some of the things that you have like now thinking back through this entire experience now that is like wound down? Is there
Mhm.
like an aspect of it that you were like, wow, I know where I started and I feel like I've gotten a lot better at this specific thing that not even like surprised you, but like is there an aspect of touting or content
Mm.
creation that you were like, oh wow, this was like a scary spot that I have now seen develop into something that I feel a little bit more comfortable with?
Probably the first thing that comes to mind is just like actually how to be entertaining without performing.
Yeah.
Like I think that at the beginning, like a lot of I like leaned on my performing background, like
Hmm.
especially in the Do a Week video and my initial submission. Not as much like the tout twist. I think was so short that I ended up just having like good fortune with that. But
Yeah.
like as I developed into the competition, I think like the bash was the culmination of okay, like through not having the best performance in the Survivor episode, not having the best performance in the debate episode, getting into that bash and just having a great time with a great guest and not I didn't feel like I was performing
Yeah.
doing that. I thought I was just on camera having a good time with someone else who's invested in drafting best ball teams and invested in this very niche world that we're all in,
Well,
and that's all that you can like and that made me feel really good, and I don't
yeah.
think I would have been able to do that in April.
I thought that was like my favorite thing that you've done too is the bash. Like cuz that did I mean kind of to your point where I was like, "Oh, I think I know now that I know you have an acting background." I was like, "Oh, I think you can do these specific things." We're like, "Oh, we're doing a bit. We're doing this is kind of like a monologue." And then they're like, "Oh, by the way, the monologue that you had planned, just do the inverse of that." And you're like, "Yeah, I can
Mhm.
do that. I can deconstruct what I was supposed to do and do it in a different way." The bash I thought was like pretty fun. It was like fun, and that's why like I referenced the other show you did with your mom and Goofy
Mhm.
and Pete, where I and Centak, where I was like that kind of felt like the first time or second time I guess in that scenario where we're like seeing you do a different thing, and you seemed comfortable. Like you did seem comfortable doing that. What was like when you were going into the bash? Was there a part of it that you were dreading a little bit, being like, I don't know how like what this is going to look like an hour later? Like, was there a part of it that was
Oh yeah.
overwhelming? Yeah.
No, I was scared. I mean, because people know what the bash is like, and people like the bash, and
Hmm.
it's like it's an established thing in the community, and
Yeah.
to hijack it for a week is responsibility. At least in my mind, like I felt like that's a much bigger audience than I've ever streamed to. Really, like not even really close. Um, and it's just a responsibility to a lot of people to deliver a good product that, and then responsibility to Pete and responsibility to all the editors and stuff. It's just like, oh yeah, it definitely was nerve wracking being like, I have to stand up and perform, and it's gonna suck if I don't.
Yeah, and that's something too. I think we talked about with PPR Tyler a little bit, where it's like, man, that's so tough to do something like, or I think I talked about it with Goofy too, like to do
Mhm.
something where you're like getting your reps, you're cutting your teeth a little bit, and normally you get to do that in front of like 9 or 10 people while you're streaming, and you're like, no, man, you're gonna do it on this guy's channel who has like 20,000 plus subs, and it does this. It's already a vulnerable thing to do to put yourself in there, out there like that, but then the stakes are raised just based on the platform itself, and that's stressful.
Oh yeah, no, it's been nice to retreat to my eliminator streams with 10 to like 10
Well,
concurrent viewers is a good night. Like that feels
yeah.
feels good.
Listen, yeah, the grind is real though. The grind is real. The 10 becomes 20, becomes 40, becomes 100, you
Yeah.
know? Um, What was oh wait, no, I lost my train of thought here. So you can watch me go full Tony Squares as I blank on stream. Shout out Tony. Also Tony randomly just I follow him on Instagram,
Mhm.
randomly on the field for the World Cup. Sounded like I don't know
Yeah,
what
that
that
seemed
was.
insane. I was like,
Y-
what the heck is going on with that?
Yeah,
Like media pass and everything. Like, hey,
yeah,
good for you,
dude.
man.
Shout out Tony, man. Okay, so this did bring me back. I knew that we were going to talk about somebody else. So that's why. So
Mhm.
you talked a little bit about some of the people that are like still in and you I'm not feeling shortchanged, but you were like, I don't know if we were like comparing everything, if everything was
Yeah.
equal, like maybe you should still be in. Is there somebody at this point that you are actively rooting for?
Yeah, well, there's two people I'm rooting for different reasons. Well,
Okay.
one is Cups.
Yeah.
I think Cups is a great guy. I really like him. The main reason I'm rooting for him is I think it was like the second week I went on Rick's stream to talk about his betting board odds, and he gave me a couple of free bets to use for going onto the stream, and I used one of them on Cups. So I would love it if he won because that means I get a payout from the sportsbook
A
of Rick as
ba-
usual.
yeah, I love that it's bags related. Hell yeah.
Of course, you gotta be bag defending here. And then it's emo. Like I just have so much respect for him, and I've worked with him so much that
Yeah.
I'm like I want to see him go and do this. Like I've seen the passion, I've seen the drive, I've seen the professionalism, seen the ability. So I want to see
Yeah.
that go on. I I
Yeah.
I really don't want it to be PPR Tyler. Let's just
Oh,
put it
well, let's
say
talk
that.
about that. Let's talk about it. So, first of all, I think Max Adam
Mm.
replied to me tweeting about exit interviews, and he was like, "Did you know the PPR Tyler thing was going to happen?" And first of no, no, you want to know why? Because I wouldn't do extra shows. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not trying to log extra hours of this. I'm doing. I want to do one exit interview per person. All right. I don't want to talk to Tyler a second time because there's no way Tyler can win. You can't have the guy who's brought back in win, right? Isn't that just like bad reality television?
Yeah, especially when like I don't dislike PPR Tyler. Let's get
Love
that out of the
PPR
way.
Tyler. Love
He's
him.
great. He's great. But
Excellent.
there was no reason for Emo to not bring him back. There was no reason for him to not be brought back. I thought that
I
was
thought it was theater. I thought Emo was doing theater. I was like, oh, there's no way he brings it back, right? He has not laid out one case so far for him to resurrect him, except for it to be like, I guess I should make the path harder. Like that was the only case he laid out, right?
oh really? No, I have the complete opposite thing. I'm like, you think that he's not going to want someone that he is like financially tied to have a better shot of winning the competition over
Oh,
what we
you,
now determine is
oh,
me and Mitch? Of
so
course
you
he's going to want someone he's financially tied to and like has a close relationship with to be back. I thought it was obvious that he was going to bring it
oh,
back. I thought there was
wait,
no way he wouldn't bring any
wait, so
PPR
you think
Tyler
that's
back.
like alliance related?
Oh yeah. No, I'm
Oh,
that's where
see,
I'm at. Is I'm like
this
the toxic tower. So you think you can toxic tower like has come up strong in these last couple of episodes.
oh, interesting. Okay, see, this is how I don't watch Survivor enough. Because I was just like, you just made your path. I'm like, Emo's not gonna win now. Like
Like
that was my reaction to this.
I don't know, like because do we really think that PPR Tyler is a significantly stronger competitor than Mitch? I don't. I think that they're pretty close. Like I think you're not really having a lot of delta in terms of competitor strength between the last
Yeah,
like 8 to 10 people. I don't think it's a lot more about who you like and who would work with you
yeah,
in other stuff. And I think like obviously emo winning is the number one result for him, followed by
sure.
PPR Tyler winning, followed by probably anyone
Michael
else winning.
O'Hara.
Yeah, I, mean, I
Hilarious.
guess yeah, like I mean
I
Emilio O'Hara and like Squares winning is probably his least favorite outcome. Like let's be
yeah.
honest here. That would be my
See,
guess.
the next time somebody asks, like, "Hey, how did you ever think about submitting for this?" The answer is going to be no, not because I'm friends with Pete, but because I'm not talented enough to figure out the game theory. Because I really was just like, I was like, "Oh yeah," I was like, "Emo soft." I'm like, "This is going to kill him." But you're right. That kind of if there's another sort of voting scenario, he brought in a voting block, right?
Yeah.
He secured New Hampshire. He secured the New Hampshire primary.
Yeah. No, I think it also kind of sucks for emo because BBG got BBG week.
Yeah.
PPR Tyler got $500 in side credits, and Emo gets the wonderful resolution of feeling like a good person. Like, come on, man.
Yeah,
Come on,
and
dude.
this is not a shot at PPR Tyler too, because I do
No,
think he's very talented. It will feel super weird if he wins after getting eliminated, right?
I think so. I mean, I think that if he ends up winning, he's done enough on the show to move past being eliminated. Like,
Yeah.
because in all honesty, he was eliminated because he had one bad challenge. He was
Hmm.
squarely at the bottom and sort of just kicked off. And that's sort of how the show, up until this past week, had always worked. Is if you're
Right.
squarely at the bottom of the challenge, you are just automatically sent off. You don't get
Yeah.
any, do-overs. So that was the formula, and he fell into it and just sort of got trapped by it. And it seems these past couple of weeks that Pete maybe decided that he didn't like that formula, because we
Ooh,
had
oh,
squares squarely at the bottom this week and manages to move on, and the person who was squarely at the bottom 2 weeks ago also and manages to move on. Like, you know,
has that
if
been the
Pete wants,
case? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut
no,
you off.
no.
I was just gonna say, has that been the case for every single episode except for the last two? That if you are at the very bottom, I'm not. This is not me pushing back.
Mhm.
I'm truly just asking. If you've been at the bottom, you've been eliminated. Is that
I
basically
mean,
been?
duos week, the bottom duos didn't have any shot.
Hmm.
Survivor Week, there was a vote, but it was the two of the three lowest people on the losing team that
Wow.
ended up going home. And then Debate Week, Tyler was at the bottom. BBG Week effectively did not give him a chance of moving on.
Right.
And then
Right.
for the first time this week, the person who was clear and dead last by a significant margin was lumped in with the other people.
Yeah.
That
I mean that.
because I thought it was funny. My scores were closer to the top three than they were to Tony, and I was like,
Yeah. Dude, I am on board with what you're saying, but the second you said that, it reminded me, I think of Duo Week, where who was I talking to, where they said something similar, like, where we were closer to the top than we were to the bottom.
"Oh,
We're
was
like,
it?"
yeah,
I'm sure this was Chad and Trev. I
yeah,
guarantee you it
yes,
was Chad and Trev.
it was. But that, I mean, that is a fair. I do think that's a fair pushback, and I did like the wrinkle of it. Was like, hey, we're at the point now where everybody that's still in is so talented. So like, all of you guys can do
Mhm.
this, and so it's like, let's throw another wrinkle in it, and you talk to like, we'll make you do an interview. But that is, I do think that's fair. That's a fair criticism. Maybe Pete should be eliminated. Let's get Pete out of there. Let's slide. I know it's Davis Maddock week. Let's make Davis do. I'm sure Pete would happily have somebody else do the
I
video
am
next
so
week.
sure of that. Oh my god,
Have
it's
you?
it's hard, man. Like I
Yeah.
have
Have you?
my criticisms of it, but it is a tough job doing what Pete
Oh,
does.
yeah,
So
yeah. No. We listen, dude. We've had enough people both on this show and on his own video. Half of the videos are like the confessionals are always like, "Hey, man. First of all, like, we got to give it up to Peter Overzet, dude. No, nobody knows how hard this is for him to like carry the show and then do it in that way and so seamlessly. So first, shouts to Pete. Like, I feel like that has been in
no
every
more shouts out to Pete for this about the Tats episode.
Yeah,
Don't
we're
you worry,
done. We're done
we're
with the
done.
shouts to Pete. Wait. Oh, well, let's actually do that though. Are there any other? Were there any other not hiccups, but like
Mhm.
criticisms when you were doing the show? Where you're like, oh man, this felt a little tilted one way. I would have liked to have seen it. Not even tilted. That makes it sound like it's rigged and rugged.
Mhm.
But like things that you would have liked to have seen.
Oh yeah.
Let's go. What do you got? What do you got?
I mean, so first off, why did we have to do something this week? I thought this was a great week to like not bring anyone back, like not do anything crazy, just do the challenges. Like
Sure.
I feel like we fell into fancy play syndrome with every week has to have a twist and something new because it was
Oh, I
exciting in
got
the
you. Yeah.
beginning. But we've now had that, 3 or 4 episodes in a row, and it's like, can we just
Sure.
have a normal episode
I thought
for
you
one?
meant I thought you were saying, why did we have to eliminate anyone? You're
No,
like,
no,
why
no, no,
like, well, guys, why did we have to do a
I
challenge this week? Couldn't we just like, it's 4th of July, dude, America.
that would be phenomenal, but no. I thought the debate tournament was just like a wacky week. Personally, I
Yeah.
didn't think it like really had a good bearing on who's a tout moving forward. I thought
Mhm.
the distribution of the slides were like wildly different. Like I thought that
This
was whack. I thought
yeah.
the like sort of getting assigned random positions and judging people who are arguing positions that they believe in versus people that they don't believe in was
Mhm.
just strange. Like, and you didn't have the ability to have knowledge to separate that. I didn't do a bunch
Right.
of debate in high school or college, so I don't know if that's like the standard is that what you just have to deal. But
Yeah.
I feel like
There is something about being like I do debate always makes it seem like there has to be somebody who's right and somebody who's wrong. I do love
Mhm.
the idea of being able to deconstruct an art. Like this is the argument that I'm planning on making and then being like, well, by the way, you actually have to do something else and like deconstruct like finding a different path. That is
yeah,
something interesting. I also was less interested just as the viewer. I'm not seeing like, oh, can so and so beat so and so in a debate? Like that's not I don't watch First
ah,
Take.
yeah.
That's not what I'm into.
And
Um,
like for the stuff you're saying, I thought the Tout twist was a great
yes.
way to do that. Where it's like deconstructing arguments is a very different skill than being given an argument and having to make it.
Yeah.
Like regardless of whether or not you believe in it. Also, I thought it was kind of screwy uh, when like going back to the debate episode because Pete like in the running of the video, I'm sure most people didn't catch this. Was like, hey, we wanted to give this side of this argument to Michael O'Hara because this is something that we think is true, but we know that Michael doesn't think is true. So we want him to argue it. And I'm just sitting there on the other side being like, wait, so you gave me an argument that you don't agree with that I had to argue? I have to convince you of something you don't believe in that you've thought a lot about? Really? Like, come on. That seems kind of screwy to me.
That is funny. Yeah, the context of you're right. Well, when you do like a subjective contest like this, I think there's going to be a lot of those scenarios where it's like I don't know, man. Like, oh, what are we really evaluating right now? And
Yeah.
I do understand again the idea that this is a competition. You need to find ways to eliminate people, so you create these challenges. And I'm with you. There were a couple of times where I'm like, I don't know, is this really this is how we're evaluating them? This is what we're doing?
Yeah. I think we've steered in the right direction the past couple weeks. Like, I thought
Yeah,
the stuff on the Bash was really good.
the
I think
bash was
doing
awesome.
Stream Week's going to be really good. And I thought
Yeah.
like some of the produced video stuff at the beginning was also really good. It's just in the middle, I was like, what are we doing here?
Yeah, yeah, that's fun. Then the twist thing is interesting too. I was wondering because I actually thought when we were getting to the end of the episode, I because I didn't have any like insight about anything else. I was like, oh, this is nice. We're not doing a twist. We're just gonna like eliminate some people, and then PPR Tyler rises like a
Rises
phoenix.
from the grave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I so talk to us a little bit about what are we doing next here? I know you I saw your I think you tweeted it out. You announced
Mhm.
like you've got we're out there streaming. Are we doing the I and forgive me if I F up the name, but the character bit that you were talking about doing with Peter, is
Yeah.
this something we are bringing to life here?
Yeah. So that was obviously my show idea with Pete. I'm like, there's no reason that I can't do the show
Yeah.
on my own or with, some rotating guests or whatnot. I think it's something that I'm like actually legitimately excited about.
Yeah.
So it's like, even if it's, if I do it and people are like, you know what, not for me, I'm like, I'm going to enjoy at least doing, 4 to 8 episodes, just like
Yeah.
doing that. I think it's going to be a great time. So I'm committing to doing that with the Eliminator streams, and then I've been trying to work on some produced video content that's a little bit like, obviously it's not going to be like Cups' content. I'm not that guy.
Yeah.
Uh, but just some fun and silly like goofy draft themes is sort of my idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited for the character thing, man. I think
Mhm.
it, especially in this niche space where everybody is. I feel like I just did Chris Collinsworth, where I was like pass rush, where I space. But I think in this niche space, it
Mhm.
is tough to come up with an idea, the one that you are excited to do, but that is also unique. And that to me is like really fun. So to find a thing that you're already kind of passionate about and is a different spin on some of this stuff is really fun. Cause I do
Mhm.
think like 98% of the content we see, and not that that's bad, but it's all like pretty similar. It's like, well, this is my thumbnail and we're doing a draft, and I think it's a lot of that, which
Mhm.
again is still good, but I think to have an interesting wrinkle is like it's a fun bit. That's why I'm really interested in hearing for the people that are left and the people that have been eliminated, like what the plan was if they had gotten the gig, because I do think
Yeah.
Everyone is very different, and not that like one is right and one is wrong, but I like the uniqueness of your take of that was really fun.
Yeah. No, I think that I talked about this a little bit I recorded a little video, like my final felt board video earlier today.
Yeah.
And I think that um if I have any say in who the winner of this is, it for me it would just be like at the end of it when it comes down to the finals, who do I think has the better show idea?
Hmm.
Who is going to deliver a more interesting show? And I think some of that is the person, and I think a lot of what we've been figuring out to this point is who is a good person to collaborate with Pete. But just as
Yeah.
much of it is going to be, do they have a good idea of something interesting to do? Because I love a good best ball draft with a guest, but I don't doing all this to find the next person that is a guest for a best ball draft just seems like a letdown for everything that this competition has been. Like this has been a, spanning multiple months. I think a lot of people are really invested in this. I think we want a unique, interesting show that runs after this. And if we get, Best Ball Breakfast V2, I would be disappointed.
Well, and like the Best Ball Breakfast V2 can still exist, right? On everyone else's personal YouTube channel. Like,
Exactly.
and that's right. And so I'm with you. I want to know, especially as we start to wind down the competition, like, well, how are you going to make your thing? Because I do think it's going to be, and this isn't something that's been talked about a lot. I think people subscribe to Pete Overzet channel because it is Peter Overzet and on the videos, right? Like that
Yeah.
is the brand. The brand is Peter Overzet. You put another person on the show or on the thumbnail or they're the person hosting the thing, you have to like win them over a little bit. And so
Oh
like
yeah.
and if you're just doing the same thing Pete is doing, then you're just going to be measured up against the dude who already built up that channel. Like those are his fans, those are his subscribers that are there. So like, what's the thing you're going to throw at us that is going to kind of like, I don't know, just separate yourself and not separate it that it's better, but that it's just different, you know?
Yeah. No, I mean, for all I care, it could be worse. Like, and
Yeah.
have and be built up into something better over years. Like, these ideas are not something that is going to happen overnight. But
Right.
you have to have something that you're invested in and something that you care about and something that you think can grow, or else
Yeah.
it's not going to
Right.
because there's nothing to grow.
I totally agree, man. I totally agree. All right. I want to wind us down mostly because I'm on East Coast time.
And it's time to go to bed.
Yeah, it's past my bedtime. But I want to make sure. Obviously, we will we'll have your stuff plugged in the show notes. But
Yeah.
is there anything that we like didn't hit that you were like, oh man, I'm excited? And honestly, this could go for another 15 minutes. I'm not saying wind it down like we got to shut it down. But is there
Yeah.
so if you have a thing, but is there anything we didn't like hit that you were like, I can't wait. I can't wait for my About the Tout segment so I can get this off my chest.
No, I think we hit a lot of my like what I wanted to say just about like what I thought were some of the screwy bits of the show.
Yeah.
I think I do want to make sure I shout out the Twitter warriors. The
Yeah.
Rohins of the world and the Darrens of the world, despite continuously having me last in your power rankings. And say that I think like those are the people that are really invested in the show, that are like keeping things going, and that
Yeah.
even
So it makes
though
it fun.
yeah, like I didn't really get a bunch of chance to interact with those people because I had to keep my mouth shut because I knew too much. They Peter Overzet came to my house and tied my mouth shut. Uh, but I think a lot of what they're doing is really really cool, and I don't know. Like I'm excited to see what everyone's doing next. Like having O'Hara's, actually like start streaming on his personal channel has been really cool. I think watching like I didn't know about the Toxic Tower before this. Like being able to like
Yeah.
see their stuff has been great. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I know I've
it's
mentioned this before. again, I'm like more of a basketball bro when it comes to content, and then I slowly catch up in August to get like my football drafts in. Although I'm ahead of the curve this year, so I'm excited. But I'm like, this is me getting introduced to a lot of people for the first time, and it's been really fun. And I have told Pete this like privately, but I think one of the cooler aspects of what he has created here is nothing to like the So You Think You Can Tell competition's great, but what I have really enjoyed is seeing people who, again, I was not really familiar with now, like doing each other's shows. Everybody seems to be like cross pollinating in other streams, and that's just like that's awesome. It's awesome to create this environment that it's not the same 9 dudes doing the same best ball shows every single week. This has now created an opportunity for other people to kind of showcase what they can do, create their own community, and introduce us to a lot of new people who are very capable and very talented like yourself. So it's been really neat to see it as a consumer.
Yeah, and I mean, it's gonna be interesting over the next like year or two, see how much different people like continue to put out content because I think
Yeah.
that's gonna be like the benchmark we're measured against as
Yeah.
this like crop of people from this first season is. Are you still posting content in a year? Are you still posting content in 5 years? Like, is this
Hmm.
something that is like wormed its way into being part of your life, or it did, other things take you in other directions? I mean, I'm
Yeah.
I'm a single guy in his mid-20s. There's a lot of things that can change in my life in the next 5 years that may be more important than creating fantasy football content on YouTube. I don't know. I hope
Yeah.
not. I love doing this stuff right now, but it's a weird and wonderful life that
Yeah,
we all
you
get to
might
lead.
listen. You
So
might be on Broadway and having to do short form content because you don't have time to live stream.
yeah, on a cruise ship, not enough data to record anything more than a
That's
short.
right. That's right, dude. The cruise ship gang's no joke. What are you actively performing right now? Are you in a production of something?
I'm between jobs. I just signed a contract to do a Christmas show called the Christmas Rush.
Hell yeah.
So I'm excited for that. I mean, obviously auditioning all the time and
Yeah.
callbacks for various things. You know how it is. Like,
Yeah.
but the only thing I've locked down is Christmas as of right now.
Yeah. Well, listen, once this contest is over, I would love to fire this back up and just talk about just auditions. Like I would just do a full hour on auditioning.
Oh yeah, no that
Just
that would be awesome. No, I mean
yeah.
I need to talk to Pete and I don't know. Are you the one of the like improv people
Yeah.
or
That
okay?
was how I met Pete doing improv in Boston. That's how we had become friends. And then he was like the only other person that liked sports in the improv community. So we legally we had to become friends.
Oh yeah. No, because I've just started like taking improv classes at
Oh,
like some local theaters
wait, where
here.
are
So
in San Francisco?
yeah, it's oh what's it called? Bats, I think.
Bats, like BATS?
Yeah.
Um
Uh
I have we I think Pete does too. We have two friends out in San Francisco that are doing. I'm curious if they have anybody listed there, but our buddy no, they don't. I don't think they have anybody listed on the website. Our buddy Jeff Walsh and Connor Allen are two comedy bros that we knew from back in
mhm.
the day that are out in the San Francisco scene, grinding the long form improv.
Oh yeah. No, it's definitely a different world than the acting stuff, but it's something
Yeah,
that I'm really excited because I think it adds as like an acting performer, but I also think
definitely.
like I've been a like I mainly do musical. I don't know how much you heard about me talk about
Y-
my acting stuff,
Yeah,
but I
just through the
mainly do
shows.
like comedic like roles in musicals.
Oh,
So,
cool.
and I think there's a lot of back and forth, a lot of overlapping skill sets between that and like not stand up, but like the improv comedy
Yeah.
scene, just because of how much leeway you get, especially in these like original musicals. Like
Oh, absolutely.
I've written lines for my characters before, and I've had like chunks where I'm like, okay, director, can I? We're just gonna. This is just gonna be a bit scene. We have about a
Yeah.
minute and a half. We get to do this sort of bit in this structure, and I think a lot of that transfers over. So
Oh, absolutely. I think that transfers over both into this stuff too. I mean,
yeah,
you even you talking earlier about like the listening aspect of it. I really do. I mean, that is like the most transferable thing, whether it's acting, improv, or like streaming. Just being able to respond earnestly to whatever the person is saying. Again, just both of us knowing that we're listening to each other is half the battle.
Oh yeah, no, and it's so often that you just hear people that are not listening. Like
Yeah.
even you can do other things and still be listening, but there are so many people that do other things or even like aren't like they're focusing on you, but they're not listening, and you're like, what are
Yeah.
you doing?
Second it happens, I just get pissed off, and that's all I think about, and then I stop listening. That's what ends up happening.
Yeah.
Well, dude, man, this was excellent. Thank you. I do appreciate you taking time and talking about this. I always feel bad when you hear from me for the first time. It's like the lamest version of the Grim Reaper is when yeah, when I come over. But I really do appreciate you coming on and talking about the experience. I've really enjoyed getting to like know you through this platform, and
Mhm.
excited to see the content. I saw Consigliere too said in the chat, where let me find this. He was like, we need a future collaborator on the Best Ball Bro video in
Oh,
2027.
oh, that would be dream come true. That would be
I,
fun.
I think you were built for that. All right, we'll link everything. Anything specific you want to plug before we get you out of here?
No, I mean just the Twitter and the YouTube. That's where I'm at these days.
Hell yeah. All right. Well, for Nathaniel Wright, thank you. I tried to title this like last bow or final bow or whatever. I
It was
tried to
good.
make it.
I liked it.
Thank you, man. Thank you. I worked really hard on it. We'll be back tomorrow, 2:30 Eastern time. We get the commish coming for his experience. Excited to talk to him about the game theory of about the touts. I think so you think that'll be fun. But Nathaniel, thanks so much for coming on, man. And we'll be back tomorrow afternoon, guys. We're out of here.